What can I do when I'm stuck inside you? This cell of ice and fire, what blood red death, lost in desire, smell of life.
What's up, what's up, what's up? Back once again, Ryan Inman, Rick Paulton. And tonight, we are going to review the Year in Horror, as it says on the bottom down there, 1985. We have our special guest joining us in due time, shortly. How you doing, Ryan?
Pretty well, man. Late night from work, but the hat's on forwards tonight because...
Yeah, the Bucks play tonight, huh?
That's right. They're at
the Tampa Bay Baker Mayfields, as they're known in Cleveland.
the Tampa Bay Football Buccaneers are at the Buffalo Football Bills.
They are. So we might as well just get into that real quick, get that out of the way before we forget.
Yeah.
So what's your bet on that? Backwards hat kind of guy, Jesse says.
Tonight, obviously, money line, it's got to be Buffalo. It's got to be, but Bucks
9.5 I seen.
9.5. Take the points. Bet Tampa plus 9.5.
That's what I did.
And the over.
I did that too.
Chris Godwin, 100 yards and a touchdown.
I took Mike Evans to score a touchdown.
See,
not a good dude.
That's not a bad thing, but I don't know. I think they're really going to shade the defense towards him. I just have a feeling, and I was actually talking to your nephew earlier about
my nephew who's in the comments. He says Rachaad White, 23.5 receiving yards.
Ooh,
Will be one before halftime.
that's good.
Yeah.
I like for a big one though. Godwin 100 and a touchdown.
I don't know. You know, for these Thursday night games, they get so screwy. Buffalo's lost 3 times already this year. Yes,
Are
at
they?
least 2, but I think it's 3. I think they've lost 3 games.
I thought they're 4-2.
I don't know. So I don't know. I wouldn't be shocked if Tampa Bay won.
Tampa Bay money line is plus 360. I think I would need a little bit more.
Yeah, you definitely take the points.
It need to be the plus 400 to plus 450 range to feel comfortable. If you have a profit boost, though, yeah, I don't hate it. Even as a Bucks fan, I don't love it, but I still don't hate it.
Right on.
So, because I mean, if these two teams played 10 times, then Tampa would win a couple of them. So it's in Buffalo. It's in Buffalo, though.
Right on.
I don't know. Tampa Bay's run defense is really good, and they're good at stopping running quarterbacks too. So we'll see. Also, shot in the dark on this one too. I like Gabe Davis for a long touchdown in this one. Unfortunately.
Right on. Well, there's our football preview for Thursday. Did you win last week? I can't remember. You shouted
no.
it out because you were getting off.
No.
No.
Last week was the first Thursday night game.
First Thursday we lost.
Yeah.
So you can't win them all.
I
right?
had New Orleans money line, and they.
Oh yeah, I mean, who's seen that coming?
Yeah, they lost right at the end. So
But,
I am 6-1 on Thursday nights.
Right on. Sounds cool. So couple things we're gonna get out of the way real quick. So I got some announcements. We got some announcements. Things we're gonna be doing. Hey, what's up, Candace? How you doing? JP will be on in just a second. He's in the waiting room. So the star of the show, you'll be here.
Yeah.
So as I was saying, announcements. So me and Ryan were talking, and we are more than likely, well, we're definitely going to do this. We're just not sure about the times 100%. But we're going to start doing an hour movie review that we'll release on Spotify through the audio podcast forms. and we'll probably still record it video form like this. So we'll probably toss it up on YouTube, but it won't be live. And we'll still do the live like this to keep the interaction going with the fans, because that's, awesome. It just seems like to me that the reviews kind of drag on here.
Yeah.
Because you know what I mean? Because we don't have time to get the fans in, get comments and stuff like that. So we're going to do it 2 hours for you. First hour we'll probably do a record, release later. And then the second hour we'll do live at 8 o'clock, because I'm getting feedback from a lot of people that 8 o'clock is a better time to go live. Mention in the comments which time. We're not official on that yet, but we're getting there. If you think 8 o'clock is a better time to go live, comment your comment in the comments and let us know if you think that's a better idea than the 7 o'clock.
8 o'clock for me isn't ideal. I mean, I'll do it, but then I can't watch the first hour of the football game.
Oh, well, we're going to be, if we're not on live at 8 doing this, then we're going to be doing the movie review at 8. So either way, so you can have probably easier to do the live portion with the football game in the background.
I guess so.
Probably. So, yeah, like I said, comment your comments in the comments. So tonight we are doing 1985, the year in horror. And let me set that up. See, so I got fun facts for the year 85, like we did with 81 and 83. And we're weird like that. So since we started with an odd number, we're going to go through at least all the odd 80s before we hit an even number, most likely.
Yeah, just like the Friday the 13th.
Just like the Friday the 13th. Which we'll be able to get back to, because we'll be able to do what we were talking about. So Ronald Reagan was president. He was sworn in the January for his second term that year. We Are the World came out.
Yeah, it did.
The first WrestleMania.
That's right.
New Coke, and it blew.
It did.
It very much sucked. They found the Titanic that year.
Oh, was it?
Much cooler facts than 83.
That I didn't know.
Yeah, they found the Titanic that year. Super Mario Brothers was released in 83. When we did 83, Mario Brothers was released. Or that might have been an 81 fact. But Super Mario was released.
Yeah, didn't that NES come out in North America that year?
It did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's big.
For
gamer guys like us, that's big, man.
This was I seen this fun fact. Well, not really a fun fact, but a fact nevertheless. Operation Wooden Leg, is Israeli Air Force's bomb PLO. I don't know. I can't read my writing, but they bombed some Palestinian bases.
That doesn't sound like a very fun fact to me.
No, it's not a fun fact at all. But it just goes to show that this shit has been going on for many, many years.
Well, 1985, the Cold War was still going on too with us, and
that was a big one in the facts.
Soviet Union.
The DNA was first used that year.
Oh,
and we
really?
had the birth. Go ahead.
That's big. I thought it was a little later.
Yeah, and we had bursts that year of Kaylee Kawaku's fine ass from The Big Bang Theory.
Roll Tide.
Yes, Roll Tide. She is all the way live. Kim Kardashian. Yeah, I know we could do without her, but I've seen her video, and it's quite all right. Michael Phelps, weed smoking swimmer.
Mm-hmm.
Bruno Mars. And then we had deaths that year. These are the three that really stuck out. Cleveland's own Margaret Hamilton, the Wicked Witch of the West.
Yeah.
Rock Hudson.
Yeah.
And Orson Welles.
Wow, that's big.
The director of Citizen Kane.
Yeah.
So
amongst other things.
That's
his.
We got Aaron and Adam in the comments. Aaron says, "Doing sportsbook tonight, are you?" In my best Altar Boys voice. I'm with Ryan. Don't cut into football, Adam says. All right. But without further ado, we're going to bring on
the star of this fucking show. The
star of the show, from A Killer's Confession, JP motherfucking Cross.
That's right.
With better internet this time, he guarantees me. What's up, brother?
What's up, guys?
What's up? So, just for the hell of it, I've been working on like playing videos on this thing. Candace says JP with a little heart next to it. So let me see if this works. We're gonna play a little bit of your guys' newest video, Tongue, which I think is kind of appropriate because it's got like a horror kind of aspect, violent thing going on. And this is they can hear it fuck. He's just playing over here on the side. It's a very horror-centric video, I thought. And you guys will be going back on tour in days, right?
Yeah, next week.
And that's the one and only Waylon Revis, formerly of Mushroomhead. He was on tour in Australia and New Zealand doing Mushroomhead music and some AKC music. Watch some of the videos for you there. Alright, we're Tracy Boyle Willis says JP picks up the horn. Alright, we're gonna.
Man, I was grooving, man.
I don't know. I don't want to play the same thing for 5 minutes. It's like a. I'm still new at all this. I don't know.
Waylon just got back, I think, yesterday from Australia, and
did he eat any KFC this time?
I don't believe he did. He hasn't said too much. I didn't talk to him at one time the whole time he was out there. Right. So, Ryan,
did you see that when he posted about the KFC over there?
I think you said something about that.
He went to get like a 3-piece. He said he had like 2 chicken assholes, and dude, it was funny as hell. And he showed it on the camera, man. I don't know what it was, but it just did not look like chicken to me.
Man,
it was chicken of the cave.
Chicken of
something, dude. It was wild. We're right on. So JP plays bass for Killer's Confession. That was them in the video. Check them out on the YouTubes, the Facebooks. Follow them, like them, and then we'll be going on tour next week. I think your first show in Flint, or
no, our first show's in Illinois, someplace I can't remember right off, but it starts November 1st, and I think it goes through November 18th or 19th. It's all pretty.
Some of our people are local. They won't be in Cleveland, but they'll be in Mansfield on November 11th. If I'm not mistaken, 10th, 11th, 12th is on that weekend because I'll be in Detroit that weekend, and that sucks.
Yeah, you'll be having right off.
You'll be having fun in Detroit, though.
Yeah, I'll be seeing Pantera for the second time this year. First time was thanks to Candace, who's in the comments. She won some VIP passes, and we got to be on stage with AKC. Need to see AKC again? Yeah, they'll be in Mansfield. So we are doing the year in horror, 1985. Decent year for horror. I don't think there was too many great movies that year. There were some good ones, some bad ones, and like I said, some before we got on, some ones that were so bad that they were good. Sean Jacobs throws up the devil horns.
I think the list is short for this year, for sure.
Yeah, it's no 81. 81 was one of the greatest years ever.
I know. I remember I did 13 that year because it was like I can't not mention this one, It's so deep.
Well, I got above 5 on here. I got I think 10 on here. I'm going to definitely talk about my top 5, and there's a couple that I think I have to slip in and we have to mention that aren't in my top 5.
I was a good boy this time, and I narrowed mine to 5, but I got a couple sort of honorable mentions that maybe that maybe aren't exactly just straight horror.
Okay, well, we'll get to that, I'm sure. So we'll start number 5, and we will let our guest go first with his number 5 movie of 1985.
Oh, so you start with me. Number 5, Return of the Living Dead.
Return of the Living Dead. It is on my list, but it was just edged out of the top 5.
Same.
I think edged out.
I think I had it at 6.
But it is phenomenal.
I actually almost put it a little higher because I absolutely love Return of the Living Dead.
Oh, I dig it too, man. We just watched it before I even knew we were doing 85. Before I even looked up the list, and I was watching it a couple days ago, the day before I announced 1985. So whatever that day that was, and I was watching it with my daughter, who's not a giant horror fan, and she usually likes like older stuff, like the classics, the black and white stuff, Exorcist, Psycho, stuff like that. But she did like Evil Dead a bunch. So I was like, this might be zombie thing. It's not too scary, more funny than scary. And she left halfway through, so I don't think she liked it. But I liked it.
Well, I mean, I think Tom Matthews and I can't remember the other guy's name. They're just fantastic in that movie.
I have that written down. Yeah, they're the other zombie that was alive, right? The guy that was working with them in the crematory. No, not in the crematory. They went to the crematory. They were working in like a medical. Yeah, the you need a medical supply. There was a couple Friday the 13th alum in there. Tom Matthews being one, and there was also our boy Demon was in it. Demon was in it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and there was a third one.
Miguel Nunez Jr.
Yeah, Miguel Nunez Jr. And I don't remember Victor's name, his Christian name anyway.
Oh yeah.
Victor, who he passed away. He was in part 5. He's the guy that killed Joey and started over the chocolate bar.
Either it escapes me. That's bad. I should know that.
Yeah, and you know what? I didn't write any notes on 5 on my notes because, which we're gonna talk. I'm sure one of us has got to bring that up. So we're gonna talk about it later, but I figured I knew it enough where I didn't need to write notes. But the name I forget. So you had the three Friday the 13th alum in it. The special effects were insane. Do you know who did the special effects, JP?
I don't know right off now.
Like I said, I don't have that one on my notes, but it was really good stuff. Really good makeup. I definitely like it. What would you grade it?
Oh, what scale? What are we doing?
Letter grades. We do letter grades.
We do letter grades. Yeah.
Okay, I couldn't remember. Sorry.
Because we gotta be different than the guys we stole the gimmick from.
Yeah.
The Death Curse Society. Those guys they rate from 1 to 10, and they do it a little different. So we have to switch it up and make it look like we didn't, copy our homework but change the words or whatever that is.
This is this is bootleg film school, so we assign grades.
Yeah. So what grade would you give that one?
I would probably go with a C+.
C+.
It's exactly
right with you.
Same.
So, Ryan, your number 5 was not Return of the Living Dead, so that means it was something different. And what was it?
My number 5 is House.
House.
Yeah.
Let's see. I just watched it. I just finished it today. I just edged out of the top 5. It didn't make my top 5.
Okay.
But I really liked it.
Yeah, mine didn't make the top 5. Mine's actually at number 8.
House
on mine.
Right on. And House, directed by Steve Miner. Friday the 13th involvement with this one. You had Steve Miner, the director, produced by Sean Cunningham. So I think he just threw his name on it and didn't really do shit.
Probably.
He seems to do that a lot.
Yeah, he does.
And then you had, as far as actors go, you had Duke Creighton from Ryan's favorite Friday the 13th film. So, Stephen Williams. You had Harold from Part 3, and Sergeant Tyranny, Ron Carroll from Part 1.
Mm-hmm.
But did Savini do the effects on that?
Maybe.
I think he might have.
The stunt coordinator was Kane Hodder.
Interesting.
And he was in one scene, and I don't know what it was. I forgot.
I didn't know that.
He's in a scene in House 2.
In House, he was the stunt coordinator, and he did one of the stunts and was inside one of the rubber suits, but I don't remember whose.
Yeah. He's in House 2 for sure. I couldn't remember him in the first one, but he's in when they have the Halloween party in House 2.
Right on.
When that one, I think it's like an Aztec warrior, comes out and he throws the guy off the balcony.
Yeah,
that's Kane Hodder.
Oh, cool.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and Harry Manfredini did the score. Our friend Harry.
He definitely did the music. Yeah.
And talking about House, I always throw this in. I think House 2, even though it's not 85, House 2 to me is the greatest sequel ever made.
Really?
I started to watch it because when you're watching stuff on Tubi, if the sequel's on there, it'll roll right into it. But I had to prepare for tonight, so I couldn't. So I'm going to go back and do that.
I know I've seen it, but I don't think I've seen the sequel in probably 20 years.
Yeah, I don't remember it.
I argue that now it's a crap movie. I just think it's the greatest sequel ever made. Like,
but I like crap movies.
I think by standards, to me, it's when you compare it to the original to the sequel. By those standards, it's better than Terminator 2 versus the first one. It's better than
I got to watch this tonight because Terminator 2 is widely regarded as the greatest sequel of all time. That or Godfather 2.
The first Terminator. is better
I
than the
think if-
sequel.
I think if you compare how bad House is to how great House 2 is, the comparison, House 2 is the greatest sequel. Now, is it better than Terminator 2? No. Is it better than Aliens? No.
No.
But by compare of how much greater it is than its
Yeah.
predecessor, it's the greatest sequel ever made.
All right, man. We're gonna definitely go back and check that out. And
I have
everybody
to, I have
in the
to
comments,
watch that now.
yeah, I'm gonna go watch it. I'm watching it tonight right after we get out of here.
I might. Yeah,
So
we gotta
everybody
watch
in the
football
comments,
game.
comment your top fives as well, so we could talk about that.
But yeah, back to House real quick before we move on.
Yeah,
I just again, and it's sort of with the Return of the Living Dead too. It's another one with comedy elements to it. And
yeah. I was reading that it was a comedy.
Yeah.
But I didn't see anything funny until like halfway through the movie, and then I really did.
it gets goofy.
Yeah.
But
It's
I
almost
like
like
it.
they changed their mind. Like we were gonna make this scary movie, and then like halfway through, they were like, "Nah, we're just gonna just do whatever."
Well, you need way less of a budget to be funny than scary.
Oh yeah, so I have the budget on here. The budget was $3 million, and it made 19.5.
Wow, screaming success.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they did
That's
really
like
well with it.
That's almost like a Friday the 13th film, like kind of profit margin.
Oh yeah, the profit margin.
Yeah.
So, what would you score House 1985's House?
Also a C plus. It's
C
just
plus?
edged out Return of the Living Dead just narrowly for me.
Yeah, same thing, same.
Just personal preference.
Yep.
I would say it's a C.
See?
I think I'm gonna go with a flat C. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So now it's on me for my number 5. And my number 5 movie was changed about an hour before we went on because I'm trying to get through as many 1985 movies as I can this week. And I work 9 days a week and 25 hours a day, and I have no time to do shit. So today was a little slower at work, so I threw on Cat's Eye
Ah,
with Drew Barrymore.
yeah.
And I really, really liked it. It edged out. I had a different number 5 that I hope comes up later, as I do want to talk about it. If not, I'll talk about it anyway, eventually. But Cat's Eye was my number 5. So we all had 3 different number 5s. That usually doesn't happen. Usually one of us has one of the other things. Allison says, I liked that one. And Cat's Eye. Yeah, Cat's Eye I really, really liked it. It was written by Stephen King. A lot of it was shot in Maine. So unless I'm confusing that with a different Stephen King movie that year. Who knows? But yeah, 2 of the stories were written by Stephen King. The third one wasn't. And it was an anthology with 3 different parts. I like the first part the best.
So do I.
Yeah. Dude, that shit was intense, right? The Quitter. Oh, man. So, yeah, I thought that was one of the better films that I reviewed this week, for sure. So, yeah, I definitely like that. The part of Cat's Eye I saw was really good. And that's Puppet Zombie, who has a great name. Oh, you're a Puppet Zombie? Oh, okay. Ricky. Ricky is Puppet Zombie. Like the mystery is solved. Right. No, yeah, it was really good. I wasn't even gonna watch it because I didn't think it was gonna fit into time, but it did, and I'm glad I did.
I haven't seen it in a long time, but I remember it pretty well.
Go ahead.
I started to watch it. I started to rewatch it because I have not honestly watched it in years, and I remember enjoying it. But
It's got its issues for sure, but
I remember quite a bit from it, but it didn't even make my top 10 list.
No problem. Yeah, I liked Twilight Zone so much, and I think that's why I really like this. The Twilight Zone movie '83.
Yeah.
And that didn't make my list at first until I watched it like the last minute kind of thing, and I was like, wow, really like that.
Yeah, that JP we did 1983 in between the 81 and this, and that Twilight.
We substituted a different North Carolina redneck for you that week.
Yeah,
We did. We had got my buddy Kevin Ellis, who does a podcast, and he was nice enough to come on and help us with that. But he's from North Carolina.
and
He's
Twilight
from
Zone.
South Carolina. Am I fucking this up?
I think he's from North Carolina as well. Spooky Picture Show.
The Spooky Picture Show. Yeah, see, I didn't fuck that up because I didn't get a chance
Yeah.
to.
Yeah,
I
Twilight.
think I was on there commenting on that one.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, you were. Yeah,
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Twilight Zone. The movie actually was my number 1 for that year.
Well,
Wasn't
it's so
Rick's,
good
but
it
it-
made me start watching the old Twilight Zone shows. I've made it through like just about a season now.
Good. We need to talk about those soon.
Yeah, we're gonna do a deep dive on those for sure.
Yeah.
So, what movie were you on? Cat's Eye. What would you score it? Either
C
one.
minus. C minus.
C minus. What do you got? What do you got, JP?
I would probably have to score it at a C minus.
C minus, and I'll give it a C plus.
Okay.
C plus. Really good movie. Recommend everybody watch it. And again, drop down in your comments. What are your favorite movies from '85? Number 4 for JP. What do you got?
So this one's a little left field, I think. It is horror, and it.
I
showed
wanted
up on
some
Wiki-
left field. You know, it was hard to
It-
find some of these movies.
It showed up in Wikipedia under the list of horror films, so that's why I put it in here.
Okay.
Vampire Hunter D.
Vampire Hunter D. I seen that on the list. I was not aware that was that old
Mhm.
until I
Yeah.
did my research for this. Are you familiar with that, Ryan?
No.
No,
Really?
it's an anime.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a Japanese anime about basically vampire hunter named D, and he's kind of like Blade in a sense,
Okay.
but in a more Castlevania kind of world.
Yeah, that's kind of the vibe I got from it. And I have seen that, but not really paid attention. My friend Chris is really into anime, and I think I watched it with him, and like I was doing other shit. So I'm not really all the way familiar with it.
He's obsessed with Castlevania too. So.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I watched this film when
Speaking
I
of
was
vampire movies. Right,
I watched this film whenever I was probably it was probably early 90s when I watched it.
okay.
And then the sequel came out, I want to say in the early 2000s or late 90s, called Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust. And they put a video game out with that, which is one of the worst video games ever made. The mechanics in it were so bad. But it was one of those games we loved. I remember me and Mark loved Vampire Hunter D so much that we suffered through the horrible gameplay just to play through the story mode on it. And like the story even in the video game was amazing. Yeah, it's just I don't know. That one's when I saw it on Wikipedia as an '85 horror film, I was like, I would have never thought of that as I've never really considered it a horror film. But once I thought about it, I was like, it's absolutely a horror film.
Right.
just
It's got
anime.
vampires, right?
It's vampires. It's a gory film. I mean, it's a brutal film for anime.
I need to see this.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely go back and watch it. That was one of the ones I wanted to get to just because I had a feeling it was gonna come up. I had a feeling that it was right up JP's alley and he was gonna talk about it. So I wanted to see it, but again, I didn't get time to. But I'm definitely gonna go back and watch that one. And that kind of goes by like the thing we brought up here a couple times. We're gonna do a long form show on it. The what is horror thing.
Yeah.
Like what counts as horror? Why, does this count as horror? And it's got vampires, like probably, it's at least horror adjacent, and like you said, there's a lot of gore involved. So there you go. Kevin Ellis, we were just talking about
it's gore.
I know the perfect guest to have for that one. I'll tell you later.
Right. Kevin Ellis says hi. Kevin, where are you from? We were just talking about you, and I said North Carolina, but I got a feeling I was wrong, and it's South Carolina. JP is originally from North Carolina. But okay, so we'll get to that eventually. So you're the only one that can grade this. You're the only one that's seen it. What do you give it?
I mean, I'm gonna say I want to rate it higher, but I think I need to give it a B minus. But I want to rate it higher.
Okay, cool. And he is from South Carolina. Okay, so I did fuck that up.
I don't know why I thought it was.
Right on. So Ryan, this is crazy. We're on your fourth one, yes?
Yes.
And we have not duplicated an answer yet.
No.
So what do you got for 4?
My number 4 is Day of the Dead.
Day of the Dead is on my list, and I'll bet it's on JP's list.
It's on my list. However, this may surprise you.
Yeah.
I put it as my number 6. I put
So it's
Return.
not
I
in the
put
top 5.
Return of the Living Dead
Just above it. Yeah.
above Day of the Dead.
I'm the
I
other
got
way.
Day of the
I'm
Dead
the
at
other way.
number 3.
They're very close for me too, but flip flop the other way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I got Day of the Dead at number 3.
Okay.
George Romero directed. Tom Savini definitely did the gore in this one.
Oh yeah.
$3.5 million budget, only made $5 million. But I think this is one of the ones that got better with age, like a fine wine.
Yeah, it's still my probably third favorite of the dead, movie.
Yeah, of the Dead.
Everybody knows Dawn of the Dead is actually my favorite. I prefer it over
Yeah.
Night of the Living Dead. That's just me.
And that's what I was going to say. Had this been Dawn of the Dead,
Oh yeah.
it would have definitely been within the top 5, if not the top 2. But
I like it
Day
better
of the
than
Dead-
Dawn of the Dead.
No.
Said
Come
no.
I, that's my opinion. I do. I like it better. And
Crazy
I like Night of the Living Dead the best. I think that
I
these
can't
don't-
argue.
These,
I can't
these
argue with
sequels almost don't even go with it. It's just almost totally different.
I love Night of the Living Dead, but Dawn of the Dead to me is the superior film.
Agreed.
Yeah, and that's what I hear from most people. There was a lot of when you watch a Day of the Dead, there was a lot of and George Romero just does this. A lot of hidden underlining messages
Mhm.
in it, and like I was able to pick up on a lot of stuff, and I like that. I like the effects a lot better than Dawn. I didn't like the way the zombies looked in Dawn.
Well,
Really?
the thing with Dawn was Savini didn't have the blood formula, so the blood looked weird. But I love the fact that the blood looks weird in that film.
Yeah.
And I love the underlining, kind of you was talking about the underlining element of consumerism in that film.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know, that film as a whole to me is just leaps and bounds over Day of the Dead.
Agreed.
If you're not on tour in June, we are going to, what do they call their fest? It's something of the Dead, Weekend of the Dead, some bullshit, and it's at the mall.
Yeah.
Oh,
So if you're not on tour in June, you can roll with us for sure.
yeah.
Not a far drive either.
No, 2.5 hours to Pittsburgh at the most. Unless Adam takes you, then he'll get you home in about an hour and 15 minutes.
Well, it's close. It's closer for me. I mean, I think Pittsburgh is only about an hour and 45 for me.
Okay. Well, I figured if you end up going, we'll go together. So no sense taking two cars. I'll come down and pick you up on the way. But we'll talk about that at a later date and time. But that's definitely one I'm definitely gonna make, and I think Ryan will probably go too. It looks like a good time. They announced their first guest is Tom Atkins,
Good.
who I already have an autograph from him, but it'd still be cool to meet him.
He's super nice. He's a super nice guy.
Right on, and I'm sure since it's in Tom Savini's backyard, he'll be there. And I met him at the last con I was at, and I've always heard bad things about him. I had a great experience with him. I really did. He was really cool, and I don't know. It might have been he was having a good day. It might be because I had the kids with me. I don't know, but he was really cool to me. And I can only talk about the way somebody treats me.
Yeah.
You know?
I've heard some nightmare stories about him. Some of them from people that went to his school. So
Yeah. No, nobody knows him better than that.
yeah.
So, Day of the Dead. What would you score, Ryan? And you guys drop your scores down in the comments too when we bring up these movies. Just curious what everybody thinks.
I think I'm still in the C+ range, but again, just edging it out.
All right.
I can't crack into the B's just yet. I don't like it quite that much.
And same for me. C+.
Yeah, I'm gonna fall. I could go C+. I could
C+?
because I was borderline with that and Return of the Living Dead. So
I mean, honestly, like Return of the Living
It's
Dead
very close.
yeah,
was really cool, and it almost made my list for sure. So, like, I think this was a great year for movies. I really do, man. I mean, like I don't know how many A's we got, but we got a shit ton of C+ in this year.
Oh, I can tell you, I have 1 A.
I have none.
I have
You have
one.
none?
None.
Okay. I don't know. I gotta see how I feel when it comes up.
I got to B+.
Yeah, I might be there too.
Yeah.
So what's on me then, right?
Yeah.
Look at that. We're keeping this pretty organized tonight. Rob Dow, St. John's, Michigan. Jason's in the house. Says what's up. He won his second cosplay contest in his few weeks. He won second place, but second place he's still up there, and he won a week or two before that. He won first place. So we are on number
4 for you.
4 for me.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah. See, I got a visual aid for this one.
Hmm.
Let's see. I gotta click this. Bear with me. Damn it. Where is this shit? There it is.
Ah.
We got JP Cross's old Killer's Confession shirt from a couple years ago. Reanimator. I wish I'd have bought one of those.
Yeah, and I'll probably never make any more because it was song specific to the song Reanimated.
Yeah.
And that song's so old now. If
I
do
never
make
noticed
them-
Waylon's head in the tray. Until
Yeah. Well, that was the whole premise of it, that I was reanimating because my head and his head,
yeah.
you know.
Oh, no, I
was
noticed yours,
reanimating.
but I never really paid attention that his head was in
Yeah.
the tray. No,
Yeah.
it's a great song. Check it out on YouTube if you guys haven't. Nowhere near as heavy as what we were playing earlier.
No,
Definitely good shit.
I'm still vibing to that, man. When that
Good
second
stuff.
riff, when those drums kicked up on that second riff, man, that shit got me grooving, man.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I want to say the new stuff, a lot of the newer stuff is heavier, but some of it is and some of it isn't. But there is a more of a groove, like
Yeah.
So I think you're gonna like it.
I'm
a
an
lot
old
of this-
I'm an
lot of
old
this.
death metal guy too, so heavier is always better for me.
Yeah, he was in the band Dislim. I don't know if we told you that last time. I don't know if you're familiar with them at all, but they're pretty heavy.
That was 20 years ago.
Really heavy. So Reanimator. Yeah, I watched that in preparation for this. Let's see, I might have some notes on that. The writer of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
I didn't know
Same
that.
writer. Yeah, Barbara Crampton, of course. This had a $900,000 budget, made
Really?
$2 million.
Hmm.
I think they did really good with it. Stuart Gordon was the director, and yeah, I like this a lot more now than I did when I was a kid. Watched it, and now I'm gonna go back and watch all the sequels and probably be very disappointed.
Yeah, I enjoy the sequels, but Reanimator is what I would go ahead and say it's my number one.
Oh
We
wow!
found-
All right,
It's my number one. Reanimator is if I had a top 10 list of my favorite horror films of all time, it would be within my top 10.
see, I knew this was a JP movie. I knew it. I knew that.
Yeah, and so I love this movie. I love that it's gory, it's disgusting, it's funny, it's ridiculous. It's just everything I love, and this is my A.
All
Wow.
right.
Yeah.
100%. You know, and because it's one of my favorite horror films of all time.
Cool. Well,
Do you
I'm
like-
going. Did it make your list, Ryan?
Huh?
Did it make your list?
It did not make my top 5.
Okay. Yeah.
I like it though. It's not like I dislike it or anything. But again, I probably haven't seen it in about 10 years. I would probably need to rewatch it to give it a super proper evaluation.
I'm telling you, when I was a kid, I don't know if it was I didn't understand what was going on, or
Yeah.
I just it was really kind of a drag to watch, and I didn't like it. But
Let
when I
me-
went back to watch it, because I knew JP was going to bring this movie up. I didn't know he'd have it at number 1, but I knew he was
No.
going to bring it up. So I wanted to be able to talk about it.
Let me
So I went back and watched it, and I love it.
let me ask him this. It's an A. Reanimator or American Werewolf in London? Which one do you like more?
He also gave that an A in the last
Yeah,
quiz, right?
that's why
Yes.
I'm asking. Yeah.
They're close, but for different reasons.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean, American
well-
Werewolf in London is just a classic, and
I definitely prefer that one over the two.
Yeah.
I love it for it being such a classic, iconic film. Where I love Reanimator because it's just a gory mess of a film, and it's funny, it's ridiculous, it's
How
disgusting.
real did that dead cat look?
Oh,
man.
it's
They did really good with the effects,
Yeah.
man, and
Yeah.
not a lot of money, obviously.
No.
So, yeah, I liked it. I'm gonna go again. C plus. I know it's boring, but that's what I gave it. I'm definitely gonna rewatch it, and I'm gonna definitely move on to the sequels. And like I said, probably be disappointed.
Yeah. I need to
I think the law
rewatch
of diminishing returns is gonna come into effect here.
Yeah, I need to rewatch it too. For now, just CC plus, just pending. I need to rewatch it.
And of
If he
course,
grades it-
JP gave it an A.
If he grades it that highly, I'm gonna go back. and
Really
watch
good,
it.
man. Really fun film. everything makes sense. You know, a lot of these movies they start to not make sense. It's crazy, but it makes sense. You know.
Yeah. The special effects in it for such a low budget film are just over the top notch.
This is the lowest budget of any film we brought up tonight.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, by 85, even horror films were starting to get money put into them because they were doing very well in the first half of the decade. So.
Right on. So we are number
3 for JP.
Number 3 for JP.
My number 3 is Fright Night.
Fright Night, yes. That was my number 5 and got edged out by Cat's Eye.
Fright Night is also my number 3.
And I don't know if we put this up there earlier, but Adam says Fright Night is my all-time favorite vampire movie.
I won't say it's my all-time favorite, but it's definitely one of my favorite 80s films.
Oh, it's great.
I guess.
Great.
I do love Fright Night. And what's his name? That played in Planet of the Apes. Is it Roddy McDowall?
McDowall, yeah.
Yeah. Like, I think he's just fantastic in it. With that whole Vincent Price.
Oh yeah.
Show.
His name was a combination of Vincent Price and another guy.
Peter Cushing and Vincent Price, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was wondering because I was like, I wrote down a bunch of names of actors, but I didn't write down his. But Tom Holland, writer-director, who also wrote and directed Child's Play.
Yep.
He was also the writer for Psycho 2, which
Rick's
fucking amazing.
Rick's number 1 from 1983.
There you go. It's amazing. And that had a $9 million budget, so they had a little bit more money.
Oh, yeah.
Made $25 million.
Okay.
And it's funny because I recognized Chris Sarandon from Child's Play. He was a cop. But then after I'm watching the movie, I'm looking at him a little closer, like, man, I know him from something else better. Princess Bride. He was Prince Humperdinck.
He also voices Jack Skellington.
Oh, no
I
shit.
didn't know that.
No shit. I did not know that. No.
Yeah.
Which that movie is in its like 30th anniversary this year or however many years.
Something like that.
A long time. Make you feel old. That's for sure. So, Fright Night, I had it at 5, but it got edged out by Cat's Eye, which is cool because it gave us a reason to talk about Cat's Eye. So, what would you grade Fright Night, JP?
B minus. I think B minus. I'll grade it about where I've graded Vampire Hunter D. You know,
right on.
So.
Adam says Fright Night 2 is good as well, and I'm gonna get to that too. That's on Tubi. Tubi is the best.
Yeah, Fright Night 2 is good. It's not as good as the first one.
What about the remake?
I love the first remake with Colin Farrell.
Yeah.
And what's his name that passed away? The guy that played Chekhov.
Okay.
I think that one's great, but they also made a sequel to that one.
Oh.
Anton Yelchin. Yeah.
Yeah, but they made a sequel to that one too that he did not come back for, and nor did Colin Farrell. But the sequel to that one was absolute garbage.
Yeah,
atrocious garbage. But the sequel to the original, it's a fun movie. I don't like it as good as obviously Fright Night, but it's a fun 80s movie.
Yeah. I think I'll give Fright Night a straight B.
So it's on your list?
Yeah, I like it a lot. It's number 3 is for me as well.
Number 3 for you as well.
Yeah.
I will again C+. I'm boring today. Everything's a C+.
Real quick sidebar, since you brought up Anton Yelchin, that kid had the strangest, saddest death, man. You know how he died?
That's Chekhov, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember how he died?
No.
Yeah. His Jeep rolled back and pinned him between his Jeep and a brick wall or something.
He had a brick mailbox. He was checking his mail.
Oh.
And his Jeep was like not in gear or whatever. It was in neutral or something, and it just pinned him up against it. Yeah, it's crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Fucking wild way to die.
And he had so many good films like Odd Thomas and Burying Your Ex, and like just all these random weird films that were
He
just
was-
fantastic.
He played the one of the leads in that movie Alpha Dog too, which was pretty good.
Oh, I like Alpha Dog.
Yeah, he was the kid. Yeah,
Hmm.
the kid that gets kidnapped. Yeah.
All right, so that was his third, then your third.
Mm-hmm.
So on to my third, which was Day of the Dead.
Mm-hmm.
So we move back to JP.
Number
JP,
two.
number
Oh.
2.
My number 2. Now, maybe you'll hate me for this one because it probably is your number 1.
And I think you're probably going to go here. Let's see. Rob Dowell says his number 1 movie of 80 is Friday the 13th, Part 5.
So my number 2 is Friday the 13th, Part 5.
Right on, right on.
And it's only second to Reanimator. And
Mm-hmm.
me and Rick have talked about this, that 5, I love 5. I love the Roy Jason. It would be within my top 4 favorite Friday the 13th.
Mhm.
Yeah, only behind Part 6 and Jason X, and honestly, my love for
Yeah, we
the-
remember we talked about that. He's a Jason X guy too.
My garbage idea of how much I actually love Freddy versus Jason. So it's only
Oh.
behind those 3.
You had me until
And-
there.
Well, and I accept that Freddy versus Jason is universally hated, but for some reason, I love that movie, and it's just a fun movie for me to watch. So I keep it within my top 3 Friday the 13th, and
Yeah, I don't hate it, and it is
Yeah.
fun, but it's not a good movie.
no.
You know, I don't mind. I like watching it. I'll throw the popcorn on, or the kids will watch it with me, and we'll have fun. But there's just so many things wrong with it that it's hard.
Freddy versus Jason, we long form reviewed this one,
Mhm.
and towards the end of the review, JP, I actually stormed out of the fucking room. I cut like a 10-minute promo on Ronnie Yu, and I lost
Oh
my-
yeah, we don't like that guy. here
no,
on the
and
show.
I lost my cool completely, which I never do. Rick will tell you, I keep my emotions in check, but man, I got so fucking angry during that one.
So Rob says too much of a comedy. Are you referring to Freddy versus Jason, or are you referring to Friday the 13th Part 5?
Oh,
Because
I
5
would
is
assume
pretty fucking funny.
Freddy versus Jason,
yeah, I
because
think so.
and I feel like that's probably why I like that film, is because it has so much comedy in it. But Part 5, I know when it came out, people were really mad about it not really being Jason Voorhees and it being a fake Jason. But I always love Roy. I love fake Jason. I love the mask. I actually thought the mask was scarier.
I love the mask too.
I do too.
So yeah, it kind of became my number 2 on this list.
And let me
Yeah,
take a shot in the dark, Rick, where it is on your list.
Number 1.
Yeah, and on my list, big surprise, also number 1.
There you go. But yeah, no, I love it, and that's why you were saying, is anything on my list going to get an A? I'm not rating these on how much I like them personally. I'm
You
rating them on how good of a film they are.
You gave it an A on our long form.
Did I?
Yeah, you
I
did.
think I struggled with it there too. I'm going B+ today.
That's my grade for it on the long form. man.
That's what I'm going to go with is B+.
Yeah, it's B+.
In my opinion, it's got the best cast of characters of any Friday the 13th. Everyone's memorable. Like you want to meet like everyone in that movie because everybody seems so cool, and everybody has like there's so many characters, but they all still matter, and that's very hard to do.
See, I don't know. I think there's some throwaway characters in there. We talked about this.
The Greasers.
Like yeah, that and the bootleg Jerry Seinfeld.
Oh yeah.
And
The stutterer.
and then
I can't remember his name, so that shows you.
and then the homeless guy that shows up at Ethel's is just there to increase the body count.
Yeah.
That guy.
But it gives Ethel a reason to say some cool shit.
That's true.
That's cool.
I,
So yeah, we did a long form episode. I think out of our non-video episodes,
Yeah.
I think it was easily our best episode.
It's
and
up
it was
there.
like right after Carol passed.
yeah,
That's the
right.
reason it
There's
jumped
that
up
week.
to the head of the line.
We had something else completely planned, and she died, so we
We just totally did.
pivoted.
We figured we had to address that then, and I think we did real good. My favorite response was "Eat your fucking slop," Rob says. we developed the big dildo of the week from her. We haven't done it.
We need
in a
to bring
while.
that back.
We are going to bring it back. That's what I'm saying. That's why we're going to do the 2 different formats, and we'll talk
Yeah.
about that more and iron it out.
I feel like it slipped through the cracks when we switched to video.
You know why? The main reason is I couldn't figure out how to do the little video of her saying that. I was like, but now I kind of know how. So I need, and that was another announcement we were talking about. We are looking for a third person that knows something about fucking editing and can help me with this shit. Like, we need a producer or something. You can be on the show, you cannot be on the show, whatever you want. Just help us get these videos together. So yeah. So now that I know how, like I did with his video of his song, I can put it down there and just hit it and bring it on. Maybe that'll work. But we're gonna play with it a little bit and see how that works. But
where did JP grade Nightmare? I mean,
I would give it a B plus. I think I'd fall under B plus.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
I love the sleaziness of it. It's so dirty and just awesome.
So 80s
And
fucking
you know,
horror
I love the chocolate bar scene. I think the chocolate bar scene is one of my favorite things about the movie. I do want to say that Corey Feldman and Tom Matthews were better Tommies.
Yeah, both of them were.
Than the
Kung
guy
Fu
that
Tommy?
did this one.
John Shepard.
John Shepard, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, he all of a sudden learned Kung Fu and was just a badass, like kicking everybody's ass.
I think he did pretty well, though.
He did.
I like them all.
But in my opinion, he's number 3.
Yeah.
If I rank the Tommies.
They're all good, though. I like them all
Yeah, I do too.
for different reasons.
I say that, but I like his film better than Final Chapter. So there is that.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I do too.
Ooh.
Yeah.
We haven't got there yet.
So that's obviously your number 1. So what is your number 2? Because we've done 3. Ryan, go ahead.
My number 2, and this is a film that I like more as time went on. I don't even.
Yeah, I
know.
think I got the same number 2. I can tell where you started.
Yeah. This one probably wouldn't have even made the top 5 for this year for me, like a couple of years ago. But
Same.
we recently had a guest on, and we went deep dive into this franchise. And my number 2 is Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2: Freddy's Revenge.
Freddy's Revenge. Same.
Yeah.
As a kid, this movie terrified me.
Mm-hmm.
Then, as I got a little older, I thought it was stupid. I thought it was so different than all the other movies, and I didn't like it. I didn't notice any of the gay undertones, anything like that. But then when I did, I was older and more mature, and I liked it for that.
Yeah.
I liked it to give people like that something to grab onto.
Yes.
Even though it was, borderline exploitative and
Yeah.
exploitative, however you say that word, in some aspects as well. Daphne says she agrees, and I believe she was talking about Friday the 13th 5.
Yeah, this Nightmare 2, it breaks a lot of rules.
Mm-hmm.
It's so different than all.
Freddy's
the
still
other-
scary, and I like that.
Yeah. This is
After
like,
3 and on, he turned into a character. And
well, part
he was
3
supposed
was
to.
part 3 was the best Freddy, but
Yeah.
this one though was different. The look was different even.
Mm-hmm.
But I liked it. And just, the only thing, like when he comes into the real world, that kind of kills things for me. But other than that, I like this one a lot more than I used to.
Yeah, same. And
That
I'm gonna
opening scene on the bus, man, is it's so fucking
dude, right? Classic
So-
Nightmare on Elm Street right there.
Do you
Go
want
ahead.
me to give you? Do you want me? Okay, I'm gonna say something that's gonna make everybody in the world mad at me.
That's fine. We
But
can do it.
I am going to say this, Ryan. I do agree with one thing you said.
Okay.
Part 3 is the best Nightmare movie.
Yes. Yeah.
Most
Okay.
people agree with that.
That being said, Nightmare on Elm Street, I refuse to put on any top list of mine. It doesn't matter which film it is, whether it's part 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. I hate Freddy Krueger so
Wow.
bad.
Okay.
And I hate the films. I hate the films so bad. And I even gave them another chance. And this year, I rewatched the entire series.
Wow.
And to give it another chance, to think maybe now I'll appreciate it more. And the whole film franchise annoys me to no end, which is crazy considering I love Freddy versus Jason.
Yeah.
But his films, the Nightmare on Elm Street films, just annoy me so bad that I cannot stand the movies.
Even
The only one that I can sit through is Part 3,
yeah, it's awesome.
and I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of the series. I'm not a big Krueger fan. I think Chucky has better one-liners than Freddy Krueger. He does.
I liked Freddy better when he was scary. Like 1 and 2, and New Nightmare. I like all of them really.
The blend, I think the blend of scary and
My least favorite is part
perfect.
5, but is it 5 or
part
4?
Part 6 is the worst, but part 5
No, I like
right
6.
there with it.
Yeah, I like 6. I don't know. I dug it.
Terrible.
Daphne wants to know, what do you guys think about Art the Clown?
Not a fan.
See, I love Art the Clown. I went and
I do
I
too.
went to the opening night when I was in California on tour and took like a $50 Uber ride just to watch the opening night of Part 2
Nice.
when it came out, when Terrifier 2
I
came
think 2
out.
is good, but they could have trimmed about 45 minutes off that thing.
Well, yeah, my thing with 2, I love 2. I do really love 2, but
And Ryan has
to
yet
me-
to see 2. Ryan has only seen you've only seen All Hallows Eve, right? You haven't even seen Terrifier, have
I
you?
saw the first short
yeah.
film,
Oh, Hallows Eve is garbage compared to Terrifier and Terrifier 2. But my thing with the first Terrifier is, to me, I was uneasy watching that movie. Like, I felt uneasy just how Art was like sitting in a diner.
Yeah.
When two came out, I was never uneasy through any of that film.
No.
So either I got used to Art, or the first film is way more intense for me.
It is. The first one's more intense. The second one kind of morphs into a adventure movie with the way the girl turns into like a heroine, and she's got the sword and all that, and a fantasy adventure movie.
Oh, real quick before we lose track, let's
Yeah.
go to Nightmare 2.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
So, Nightmare 2, I gave it a B.
Also a B.
All right.
JP's
Do you
gonna.
want do you want my grade?
Is it F?
You gotta do it. I mean, if you give it an F, you give it an F.
It's an F.
All right.
It's an F.
F.
There we go.
F.
Oh.
If it was Part 3, I would be nice and give it a C maybe.
Oh
but,
my god.
Some people just don't like Freddy, man. It's okay.
There's something, and like I said, it's crazy that I love Freddy versus Jason, and I think it's just because I enjoyed Jason beating the crap out of Freddy.
There you go.
Because I'm not a big
Because
fan of
as
Freddy.
a film, that's definitely a Nightmare on Elm Street
Nightmare film for sure.
I mean,
it is more, and I don't know why I like it, but my logic makes no sense on that, and I can't even argue.
well,
You know what? That's fine because there's certain things like
like I'm pretty sure you're not gonna like Art the Clown even after we see these other movies.
no, I hated.
But everybody else likes it.
I hated the Terrifier short
Yeah.
film. I hated it.
Mhm.
So I mean,
and Terrifier is not for everybody. you
No.
know? And I can sit here and tell you, Part 2. I've heard people say, well, it's got actually got a story to it versus the first one. But is it really a good story?
Right.
I mean, because it's not. I love Terrifier 2, but it's not a very good story when it really comes
They're
down to it.
re-releasing it in the theaters in like a couple weeks, and with it, they're going to give a teaser of 3.
mm,
I don't know if you're aware of that, but you might want to check it out.
Yeah,
So-
I haven't heard that, but
So, is there any in your top 5 that we have not gone over?
no, we got them all. We all got them all.
I think so too. Yours as well.
mhm.
So, let's see. I got a couple more that I wanted to touch on.
What's that?
The Hills Have Eyes 2 is straight fucking garbage, and I want my hour and a half back.
I thought that was 1984.
No, it wasn't. It
No, it
says
was 85.
84 on IMDb, but it was released in January of '85.
Okay.
He made that film before he made Nightmare on Elm Street, but it came out after.
All right. Yeah.
And He don't even like it. He wants. This is one of those movies that would have got a. What? Oh, Lorena Faye's in the house. She says, "Hello. Hope you're all doing well. We are doing fantastic." And we announced earlier that we're going to probably move this portion of the show to 8:00 soon, so you'll be able to get on more. And we'll be posting on the page about that when we talk about it. Tonight we are doing top 5 85 movies, and yeah. But yeah, so The Hills Have Eyes 2. What's the director like when your movie's shit and you want to take your name off of it? The Smythe guy? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Alan Smythe. Smithy? Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
But yeah, that's what Wes Craven wanted to do with this because he wants no part of it, wanted no part of it, and I could see why.
I don't either.
It doesn't.
Yeah,
the first was so gritty and violent.
Yeah,
and
the first one's great.
Yeah. This one, not so much. And they remade this one.
Ugh.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because I've seen they remade the first one, and then that one has a sequel, so I assume it's a remake to this one. The only cool part about this one is the dog has a flashback. So, and then also, this movie almost made my top 5. It is horrible. The Stuff.
Yeah,
The Stuff.
That one didn't even make my list.
This one had Paul Sorvino, Danny Aiello, Garrett Morris.
Like him too.
These are pretty good actors.
Yeah, they are.
What the fuck were they doing in this movie? But the special effects guy, here we go. Brett Culper, and I could be spelling his name wrong, but he was the special effects guy for Reanimator as well. And the special effects were really, really good. And the stuff, they were really, really good. The movie makes no sense. It jumps off the rails everywhere. The second one sucked. I think Daphne might be referring to Terrifier because I don't think there was a sequel to this stuff.
No.
Maybe
The Hills Have Eyes.
Oh, The Hills Have Eyes. Yeah, that's probably what it was. The Hills Have Eyes too. Yeah, and that did suck. But I like the stuff. I seen that as a kid. I watched it when I was little, and I liked it then. And I revisited it doing my research for this, and I liked it again. But as far as a film goes, it's a D and it might be an F. But I liked it.
Nah.
I liked it. I still like it. My personal opinion would be a B of what I like about the movie. But if I'm grading it on is it a good movie? It might be an F.
See,
It probably is.
There's a couple of movies that came out this year that I would rate quite highly that aren't necessarily horror, but it kind of have horror elements to them.
Okay, like throw one out.
Legend.
That was on the horror list. You know,
I don't consider it a horror movie.
I don't know it, so I don't know anything about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, it's classic, man. Tim
Yeah,
Curry.
Legend's amazing.
Oh yeah, it's awesome.
It was on the list.
Yeah.
There was a couple movies on the list that were. I
didn't put it on here because to me it's a fantasy film. And
right, I had a problem calling a horror movie.
There are definitely kind of horror elements to it, but it's not a horror movie.
No.
But it's fantastically made. It's very well made. And
Carrie, let's see, we'll put her up here because JP probably knows who she is because I don't recognize her name.
Yeah,
I want to thank her and everybody else that's coming to see JP for joining us for sure. But she says Legend is awesome.
Yeah, I love it. Love that movie.
Lorena Faye says, I was 12 in 85, still a year from getting a VCR and diving headfirst into the horror world. Yeah, I wasn't 12. What was I? I was 6 in 85.
Another one I want to bring up from 85, and this is weird. I don't smoke weed anymore.
Yeah.
Let me preface that. But back when I used to, especially once I hit my 20s, I would now and then I'd like binge. Yeah. And I always went back to this movie, and it's definitely not a horror movie, but again, there's a horror element here and there, and that's Teen Wolf.
Teen Wolf was on the horror list.
That's
another one that was on there.
For whatever reason, when I am smoking weed, which is very infrequently, every 5 years maybe, I watch Teen Wolf.
I love Teen Wolf.
Go to it.
It's got a werewolf. Doesn't that count?
I love Teen Wolf. I love Teen Wolf 2.
I do
with Jason Bateman.
I do too. Yep.
Yeah.
Jason Bateman. Yep.
I strongly prefer the original.
Same.
Just the scene in the coach's office.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got horror elements to it. Like I don't know. I think it's a horror comedy if you ask me.
I guess
It's got a fucking werewolf, dude. That makes it a horror movie.
it's more of a comedy, but yeah, it's a werewolf movie too, I guess.
Once Bitten, we had a vampire comedy.
Oh, with Jim
Carrey.
Yeah,
Yep.
baby Jim Carrey. He's
Baby,
like
I
21 years old in that or something.
think that it was either his first or second film.
I think it was his first big movie.
I think it was his first. Yeah.
What came out first, that or Earth Girls Are Easy?
I think Once Bitten.
Okay,
I think.
I mean, he had a minuscule part in Earth Girls Are Easy. If I'm not
Right.
mistaken, he played an alien.
Yeah.
Like that was just in the background. But yeah, Once Bitten, that was I really, really liked that when I was a
Yeah,
kid.
I just had to mention those two, Legend and Teen Wolf. Not
Mhm.
horror. There's horror elements to them, and I one is a very good movie, and the other is just a guilty pleasure that I like to watch when I'm stoned.
Mike
Yeah,
Patterson says, "What's up?"
I've got two I want to mention, and
Go ahead.
one's horror, and one's science fiction.
Okay.
And I was really surprised that this one didn't get mentioned, which was Silver Bullet.
Okay.
Silver Bullet might have gotten mentioned if I got a chance to watch it this week. I ran out of time.
Silver Bullet fell number 7 on my list, and Gary Busey, Corey
Mhm.
Haim,
Stephen King, right?
Yeah.
Yes, Stephen King. I mean, it's just it's a solid movie. It's a classic, and I was actually surprised that none of us actually mentioned it.
Yeah.
I put it, if like I said, it fell number 7 on mine, but I actually thought maybe one of y'all's it might have came in the top 5, but it didn't for any of us. The second one, which is one of my favorite, another like movie I watched religiously in the 80s, My Science Project. You guys remember that one?
No.
It has what's his name? John Stockwell. Dennis Hopper's in it.
Okay.
And this kid, he has to make a science project. So he goes and he finds this like alien machine in the bottom of a hangar, and he turns it on. Well, basically it opens up like time portals through time. And so like there's giant T-Rex, there's a giant T-Rex, there's like Aztec warriors, people from the future that come in and is trying to kill them. It's just one of those fun 80s movies. It doesn't quite have horror elements, but it's a science fiction film,
Cool. Yeah, I wrote that down. I'm gonna try to seek that out. I tried to find a movie called Hard Rock was it Hard Rock Zombies? I found it on one thing, and it was something I couldn't even like buy it. I had to subscribe to whatever it was, and like I'll give you $5-10 to watch this movie now, but I don't want to subscribe to shit.
It sounds so awesomely bad.
I know, and I like to find one of those every time we do this kind of show. And it has like there's Nazis involved and zombies, and I don't know. It's even in our little thing above your head over there somewhere. And yeah, that one, it's in there somewhere. Hard Rock Zombies, Lorena says. So was it good, Lorena? DCS used to use a clip from that. Nice. Yeah, DCS, Death Curse Society, who we stole this whole gimmick from. That's what we do, because we strive on this channel to be extremely mediocre, and we do our best to do that by stealing stuff from people. Yeah, they're great guys, though. Make sure to follow their show, and they get guests all the time on there. Like this past week, they had she says not good for Hard Rock Zombies. I didn't expect it to be good, but on this past week on their show, they had Tracy Savage from Part 3, as well as
Never Hike Alone too.
Yeah, no, I'm saying like the other guests that they had. David, he was he was the weed smoker from Part 3.
Oh, David Cad something. Cade.
Yeah, that guy. He was on it, and I recently scored a guest for our show in 2 weeks. We're going to have Craig Mukler, I think his name is.
Yeah,
he's the writer of Microwave Massacre. So I sent them a message. I was like, "Yeah, you guys get Friday the 13th alumni. I get Microwave Massacre. We are not the same.
Dude, we have JT Cross though, so I don't care.
That's it, baby. That's it.
And we get Brian Emmenizer.
Yeah, with South Jersey Jason, the fucking
Yeah.
Hanson Diner guy. He's been on a few times.
And Jared Haggerty.
That's it. That's
And
it.
Vincent DeSanti.
Yeah, so we've had some decent people. Yeah, we had some fun people.
One of those things is not like the others. By the way.
Dude,
And, and
go ahead.
Rick had me watch Never Hike Alone 2 this last week,
Yeah,
and that was so
David Cadams.
freaking
That's it. Thanks, man.
amazing.
You liked
So
it?
freaking amazing. I loved it. I
Awesome.
loved it.
So good.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
And yeah, do any of you remember Sleepaway Camp? I love Sleepaway Camp. I just met Felissa Rose a couple weeks ago. She was great.
Cinema Wasteland.
Still looks, Cinema Wasteland. Still looks gorgeous. Yeah, she's awesome. Yeah. So I got to hang out with her a little bit. Her and Tom Savini. That's where I met Tom Savini too. So I'm a big Sleepaway Camp fan. There's a documentary coming out from it that the people that do Kevin Ellis's podcast, those guys are working on it. Somebody on
Picture Show.
Spooky Picture Show. But yeah. Good.
Oh, we get Kevin Ellis as a guest too. Damn it.
Yeah, we had Kevin Ellis. That's it. That's it. So, but but back to the Microwave Massacre thing. I tried to find a trailer so I can start promoting this thing. I can't even play the trailer on Facebook or YouTube. I'll get kicked off.
Yeah.
Like, dude,
That's how you know it's good.
yeah, no doubt. So everybody, it's on Tubi for free. Watch it. Not this Thursday, but the Thursday after. We're going to talk with them. He's done some other stuff in movies. He's got a podcast with Al Pacino's daughter. That's pretty cool. Whoever the hell she is.
Yeah, that's 2 weeks time from now.
2 weeks time from now. Next week, I got a guy I'm chasing that might be able to get on. I'm gonna say it just because I'm pretty sure he's gonna come on. The owner of the Michigan Horror Museum, and he has an event coming up the week after the week that you're gonna be in Flint. So it should be good to have him on. This is a joke, but ask JP, what about Walmart?
I don't know, but it's a horror story, I'm sure.
Speaking of Walmart, got this for $8 from Walmart. Look at that. That's pretty cool, huh?
Fuck Walmart.
Yeah. Fuck Walmart.
Fuck Walmart.
I've got a whole stack of toys right here that I haven't done anything with.
Yeah.
And I know you saw this, Rick.
Oh yeah, I seen that. That's sweet. So,
The new Chucky. And my Halo's getting in the way. I'm trying to figure out how to.
hold on.
Now
Lorena
it's
says
multiplying.
Microwave Massacre is great. Frosty the Snowman goes cannibal. Is that guy the voice of Frosty? Okay, but so that Chucky toy that's from the show then, huh?
Yeah, that's from the series. Yeah.
Yeah. And
if you've not watched the series is so good.
I've only gotten through 2 episodes, man. I do like it.
It's a slow start. I will say every season is a slow start, but dude, it gets every season's just amazing.
Well, that just made that interview a little cooler. Lorena says yes, that's the main character in that movie, Microwave Massacre, which is going to be hilarious when you finally watch it. Is the voice of fucking Frosty the Snowman? I think he's passed away though, so I don't think we can get him on.
No, before we interview this guy.
What's that?
That's good to know before we interview that guy.
Yeah, and I hope that he understands how epically bad his film is, and that I'm not going to hurt his feelings with the stuff I say about it.
Well,
I do like it though. I swear to God, I like it. But like we were talking about some of the films here, just because I like it doesn't mean it's a good movie.
That seems like it'll still just be in good fun. That interview.
Yeah.
The one that everyone's waiting for. And it ain't got nothing to do with you, Rick. No.
Yeah. The one that we'll probably never get because of you.
Yeah. It's when I go toe-to-toe with Mr. Adam Marcus.
Yeah. Someday, maybe. Hopefully.
It's going to happen.
Oh,
I'm not,
man.
it's not like I'm personally going to insult the guy.
Yeah, of course.
I'm not like that.
Yeah, no, because he is a great guy. And
he is. And that's the sad part is I want to like his stuff, man. But he's so cool, but no.
Yeah, it's not for everybody, man.
No.
It's not for everybody.
No, and just the way
where do you come out on that? Jason Goes to Hell. JP?
Yeah, I like it and I absolutely hate it. I'm back and forth
Yeah,
on what
you
I
know
like
what?
and what I.
After talking to him and him explaining everything about it, I like it a lot better now than
See?
I ever did. I
Yeah.
think it was a well-made movie.
I love the fact. I think what love I have for it was he made Jason a deadite.
Oh yeah,
That's what most people hate the
JP,
most
that
about
guy.
it, by the way.
And I think that's the saving grace for me in that film. Yeah, I don't. I got bored with Jason jumping from host to host in that film, and like I think that film, the opening scene, is one
Yeah.
of the greatest
Oh,
opening
cool.
scenes
So
of
cool.
all Friday the 13th films.
Except part
That
6.
opening, except part 6, that opening scene with the girl going to the shower, the Jason hunting her down, and she running out into a field, and then bam, there's military, FBI, police, and just. I
Kind of
think
how
that scene
Friday
is.
the 13th, 2009 started like a great Friday the 13th movie.
Yeah,
And then
that
it
actually, you
happened.
know what? You're right. That's the best opening to a Friday.
And then this was very similar. Like, wow, they're at the camp. I mean, this is like a Friday the 13th movie.
Well,
And then it
let me.
wasn't.
I'm going to steal a page out of Mr. Bruce Pritchard's book. You got that big build up, that big like lead up, that opening, and then the bell rang.
And then the bell rang.
Yeah. Yeah, that
So good.
opening that opening is kind of he kind of blew his load
Yeah.
in the opening, and
Yeah.
and it was so good. There was no way he was going to top that.
2009,
And-
same way.
I think the way I like 5 and how all the characters in it, I think Jason Goes to Hell has a lot of very similar characters that are very memorable, that are great people, and they seem really cool.
It's
You know,
Creighton Duke
love-
is awesome.
I love that the main guy is the guy from the Friday the 13th TV series.
that's
Now he
true.
was supposed to be Tommy Jarvis, you know that, right?
I didn't know that.
But Adam couldn't get because when New Line bought Friday the 13th,
Right.
they didn't buy Friday the 13th. They
Yeah.
bought Jason.
Jason, yes.
Mhm.
So they couldn't use any of the X characters. Like I
Except
was
Jason.
wondering in Freddy versus Jason, do they even call Pam Pam? Do they even say her name?
I don't remember.
Because
I don't remember.
I don't think
I
they
don't
can.
think they do. I don't think they do.
Yeah, I don't think they can. But they couldn't say Tommy Jarvis either. So he tried to make him look like what Tommy would look like.
I just
we're
know they
coming
had.
up.
I just know they had not Betsy Palmer playing her.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, but
So,
yeah,
yeah.
we got it. Adam Marcus has to come on one of these days.
I'm working on it. And he watches this show on occasion, so he
I know.
hears his stuff.
I know. He knows what to expect from me too. I know. And I just want to reassure. I have nothing personal against the guy. I think he's a great guy. I really do.
Well, and he knows that people hate his film because that was one of the perks and the money they were raising for the documentary that's coming out real soon. Who is also on the Spooky Picture Show? Did I say it right?
Yes.
All right, that's first time for that. Oh my god, I can't remember the guy's name now. But I met him. I met him at Cinema Wasteland as well.
Is there a release date on the doc now?
No, not yet.
Okay.
It's
When
much
that happens, he's got to come on here.
That's what I'm saying. I sent him a message. He's going to come on for sure.
Yes.
The director of the documentary is going to come on.
No, Adam has to come on.
We're going to try to make that happen. We're trying real hard, and he's going to help me with that. Hopefully,
Adam
Well, you know,
has
and-
done
and
other
the thing-
shows. He just dude, you
So I
can't,
think he'll do it.
you can't duck me forever.
The thing with Jason Goes to Hell is there's a great movie in there. It's just he didn't film it though.
No.
Is the problem. Is that there's a great film in there. He just did not film the parts that would have been great. Because he had everything in it that would have made a great Friday the 13th for me personally. Just like I said, just a Deadite thing alone.
And for me, like one of the things that he explains is that everybody had a problem with it being so different than all the other ones. But if you go back, everything's fucking different. Like they change shit all the time in these movies. So I mean, maybe this one was the most drastic for sure, but
Yes. Yeah.
I liked it, and there's some things I really didn't like about it, but I think it was well shot. I think it was well made. I like a lot of the characters. Creighton Duke is awesome.
See, now that is
The couple in the diner whose names escape me.
okay. Yeah,
Rusty
Rusty
Schwimmer?
Swimmer and
the other guy's much more famous.
Leslie.
Just passed. Leslie.
Yeah,
something.
Leslie something.
Jordan.
Yeah,
Leslie Jordan. Yeah.
Yes.
yeah.
And you know,
Rusty
with those two, we're getting like totally off topic, but
I know
it was supposed to be their roles were supposed to be reversed.
opposite. Yeah.
Like
But he was just so aggressive that she was perfect to be.
yeah, so he was like, we had to change it and like make her make the male role the female, and I think it worked out so much better with this.
See now, Creighton Duke is a very interesting character, but when you sit back and look at it, he doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, who is this guy? He knows everything about Jason and how to kill him, and he just shows up 9 movies in.
Yeah. Well, and you know,
and Mike Patterson brings up something I wanted to bring up. You are talking about doing your own podcast. He says, "Are you guys going to do an AKC inspired podcast?" And I don't think that's what it is that you guys are doing, but it will have 2 members of AKC. Yes.
Yeah. We're talking about doing our starting a podcast. Hopefully, we'll have things started by December. Is what we're hoping for.
And it's you, James, he plays guitar in the band, right?
Yeah, and Ryan Newhouse from Brother in Arms.
Oh, I know that band. Right on.
Yeah.
What is he? What is he in the band? In Brothers in Arms?
Vocals.
His vocals. Okay.
Yeah.
Because the was he the bassist works at did work at the oil change place up the street.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And,
my oil change there. He's shoving me with flyers and CDs and stuff. It's like, dude, I've actually purchased this CD before. I've seen you before.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and yeah, we're going to try to get things started by early December. Yeah, we're going to see because we're going to be gone most of November on tour. But you know, I think the premise of it is going to be because James hates every movie, and he's never seen hardly any movies at all. We're not going to do just horror. It's going to be
you got to do a segment. Make James watch this movie.
Yeah, well, and that's what this is going to be. It's going to be we're going to make him watch the movie, and then he's obviously going to hate it. And
right.
And so there's going to be a lot of banter back and forth with me and him, because he hates everything unless it's Jersey Shore.
Unless you make him watch Nightmare on Elm Street, then you'll just agree with him on everything.
Yeah, no, he'll like those.
But no, it will not be music related. I will not review anything music related. That's in bad taste as a musician.
I agree. When I used to do music reviews, and then when I was in a band, I stopped doing them. Yeah,
it's in bad taste. I'm not going to sit here and do a music review podcast and talk about how I think this band sucks. That's in bad taste.
No.
But I will sit here all day and tell you how Nightmare on Elm Street sucks.
Well, yeah, because you're not out there making movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And the thing is, I think I generally love movies probably more so than music. I love film. I will sit down and watch film and listen to podcasts on film or fan theories on films and different things more so than music. Like I don't even listen to music in my car anymore. I don't really even listen to music anymore. Every now and then, but it's pretty few and far between. So
yeah, I hardly ever do too. I like to listen to podcasts or talk radio.
Always got other podcasts playing in the car when I get in with them.
Mm-hmm.
I listen to mostly music when I'm driving.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, that's what we're planning on. We're trying to iron some details out. We've got a few things, we're talking about, doing this a little different from everybody else, and
right. And
I
think
it's going to be very interesting banter between me, Ryan, and especially James. And I think James is just going to piss me and Ryan off 90% of the time.
And that's why I picked this Ryan to do with mine, because he's more artistic than me. Like he breaks it down on that level better, and he likes a lot of stuff that I might not like. Like when I first was doing the thing, I said he's like a snob about everything, like food, music. He likes the best of the best of the best, which anything he's into. And me, I can kind of look at things like on a guttural level, like, just whatever. And I tend to be less critical than him, that's for sure. So, it balances out.
I think in the history of this podcast, I know there's one, there may be 2 times ever I rated a film higher than Rick did.
Yeah, that's it.
I know Hellraiser I rated higher than you.
Yeah. Barely looks. I really like that one.
Yeah, you gave it a B+, I went A- with it.
Yeah.
To the A's, and for me,
I think that's your only A so far, isn't it? Maybe. We got to start keeping track of that. I got the handy dandy notebook here. I'm gonna start keeping shit in there so we can go back.
And that was just an A-.
Yeah, it wasn't even it wasn't even all the way A.
No, I think I went A- on They Live.
Yeah, you did. Yeah,
I rated that one higher than you too.
Yeah. I really like that one too.
I actually was watching They Live today.
Love it.
Yeah.
It's never a bad time to watch it.
Never.
I heard that they're doing a series. Did you hear about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm scared. That's funny. After we talked about how cool it would be if they did a series, now they're talking about it.
See, now that one I didn't anticipate on it cracking the A's, but then now I just thought about how more relevant it is now than even when it was made, and I had to give more credit for it at that point. So yeah, that one cracked into my A's. So yeah, those 2 I've rated higher than Rick.
Right on. So we've been doing this for like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
The longer ones. So we're going to get ready and wrap this thing up. And
don't forget, though, everybody, Catch a Killer's Confession on tour next month.
Definitely do that. Mansfield, they're playing Mansfield. I want to say it's November 10th. Check it out. Make sure. Go to their website, their Facebook page, all their socials. A Killer's Confession. Subscribe
to their YouTube, like their pages, do all you got to do.
All that good stuff. They're great guys. The music's fucking awesome. AKC, Mike Patterson. Right on. So just back to that, though. I was about to wrap this up, but this is got to be getting close to 10 years, right?
For AKC, it would be... We still got a little bit. It would be 2016, so we got a couple more years.
So 7 years. Yeah, 7 years they've been around. Working on the 4th album. Am I right about that?
Yes, it's done.
Yeah.
It's done. I don't know when it's coming out. I don't have any details.
Right. Nothing. The 4th album will be dropping soon. There's already some tracks released off of it. Heavier than the previous stuff so far.
Yeah. We've released one single off of it because all the singles we released last year was originally going to be a different album.
Mm-hmm.
And we dropped it. And so this is actually something completely different because what we were going to release last year, and I think we ended up releasing 5 singles last year off what was going to be that album.
Oh, okay.
And we
So which one of these tracks are actually on the album?
Tongue.
Okay.
Yeah, when you played it.
The one that we played earlier on.
Because like the boys and
the boys, I was gonna say the boys with the original AKC guys.
All that stuff was off the singles from last year, off the album we was originally releasing. So all that stuff is not going to be on this album.
Right on. Well, I have all the singles. I every time you guys come out with something, I buy it that day. And so I have I think I have about 50, 60 songs, maybe even more. It might be more now.
Rick's been all about AKC since day one.
I got a Waylon playlist. Anything you can buy of his that's on fucking iTunes. I have it. I bought it. even there's like this rap song he did. Fucking, you know what I'm talking about?
He's done so many guest spots that there's all kinds of shit.
So basically, it was like these guys. They sound like Detroit rappers, ICP type shit. I can't remember who they are, but he does the hook on it. It's pretty sweet.
It's like the day after, the first record released, Rick picked me up to go to like eat, and he's like, "Listen to this." It's just like, yeah.
No, it's great stuff, man. I really like it. And me and my son Donald, we both got the tattoos somewhere. Where is it? That arm. Yeah. So we were like, I think we were the first ones to do that.
Well, and I can't remember what all we were talking about, but Julie was texting me the other day while Waylon was in Australia and said something about how Waylon's been doing this for 20 years, and I was like,
No,
it's been longer than that.
A lot longer.
It's been longer than that. Like Waylon and I started in like 94, 95, so it's closer to 30 years. And when I said that, she's like, "Oh yeah, it has, hasn't it?" And I was like, "Yeah."
Well, he was in Shroom for over 10 years,
Mm-hmm.
and he's been out of Shroom for 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's 20 right there.
Yeah.
Well, and there was
And then
there
you
was
go
a,
to
there-
Three Quarters
there was
Dead,
a,
and
there was a 10-year period where Waylon and I were together before he was in Mushroom Head.
right. That's what I said. You had the Three Quarters Dead. I don't know other bands he was in, but
Yeah. We did a lot of garage bands, and then it was 3 Quarters Dead for the bulk of it. But
which you can also find on iTunes, and I encourage you to do so.
yeah, I said it's closer to 30, and then I was like, oh man, it's been that long.
Really makes
It's
you
been
think,
that
man.
long.
Well,
And not only has it been that long, but Waylon and I have really been together that long. Yeah.
Tenafly, yeah, he did that too, and that's also really good stuff. Everything this guy does is great, but
Yeah.
so
Well, boys, it's about that time for me.
all right, you gotta go.
Yeah.
All right, brother. Yeah, I'm wrapping this up anyway. You can drop out, and we'll talk later about what we got going on next week and the week after, and so on and so forth. And
Thanks for coming on again, JP. I appreciate
Oh yeah, thank you for having me anytime.
it. Anytime you want on, you're always welcome.
right on.
And I'll let you wrap it up, Rick. But there goes the neighborhood.
Right on, man. All right, so we are gonna get out of here. Daphne says, great show, thank you. And I want to thank everybody in the comments that Mike Patterson, Daphne Dotson, bunch of other people in here that I've never seen before. Please subscribe to the page if you like what we're doing. We do this every week, 7 o'clock. We're probably going to change that to 8 o'clock, but follow the page and you'll know what's up and down with that. Thank you so much for coming through. Thanks, JP, because these guys are here because you're here, and I know that. So I definitely appreciate that. But anybody that's here that's, not familiar with AKC, check them out. They're doing big shit, good shit. Check them out, follow them, like the page, listen to the music, go to the shows, support people doing things. And did you want to add anything?
I'm good. Other than just thanks for having me, and we'll talk movies later.
Yeah, all right, brother. All right, I am out of here. I will hit you up later, JP. Take it easy, you guys, and we are out. And not yet.